What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate, and I got a mixed bag for y'all today. There's a lot of weird things going on in boxing right now. A lot of talk, again, picking right up where I left off. A lot of talk, a lot of supposed fights, and we just don't know. Now, I'm going to start off by saying, I want to talk about Bob Arum, right? Bob Arum was asked about, the fans, the people who are saying that the fight between Fury and AJ is not going to happen, or, giving their opinions and just saying what they think may or may not happen because of the lack of information, okay? And the fact that Fury himself is saying that that fight is not even in the works, okay? And he basically said, I tell them to go screw themselves. He didn't say screw, I'm just saying screw. Okay, so y'all know what he said. And to get a life. Now, that was his response, but at the same time, I'm gonna say this, because personally for me, it like I said, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over what happens. It's their money. They benefit more than we do. Okay, me, you, anybody else being able to say, man, I love boxing, that was a great fight, don't compare to them being able to put millions of dollars in their bank accounts and be able to have to live without the financial worries or struggles, okay? As the same people who sit there and save their money up so they can go buy pay-per-views and go buy tickets to go to fights and all that. So unless you're on the rich side of things, hey, whatever. But anyway, just saying, he basically said that Joshua and Fury both signed a contract. Now, here's my thing. As a fighter, Joshua doesn't want to speak for him, okay? Let him speak for himself. Now, if they both signed the contract, it's completely stupid. It makes zero sense for Tyson Fury to sit here and pretend that the fight is not going to happen. I mean, like, for me, look, I'm a grown man. I'm the kind of person, honestly, I like to laugh and talk and have a good time and all of that, but there's like certain people who just, they'll do or say something stupid, and I'm that guy that'll be sitting there just looking at you like, and then, like, man, grow up. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand. Like, this is not how you sell a fight. Okay, this is not how you sell a fight. How the hell do you get people interested by saying something that is going to happen, is not going to happen? Bob Arum saying that they both signed. Now, is he assuming, or does he know this for sure? See, this is all of the speculation nonsense. And pretty much, I mean, I don't like to say if it was me, I would say this, or I would do this and this. But to be perfectly honest with you, if I'm his opponent and I know that he signed a contract, I know that for a fact that he did, I would handle it different, put it that way. But like I said, me and AJ are two different people. Tyson Fury, we all different people. So I don't understand that. Another thing is, you see, Tyson Fury said, "You never know when I'm lying or telling the truth." And I'm like, Fury, after all of this whole back and forth and this whole glove gate and all that with you and Wilder, that is the wrong choice of words, man. And these idiots will make up things even if there's no information being out there, but they're going to milk this thing and they're going to use his own words against him. Now, whether he cares or not is one thing, but he has to care enough about things that happen, because this is a man that sat here and said, even about this same fight that he's possibly lying about or telling the truth, that he don't want to get to the point where he want to kill himself. Why would you go through saying all of that kind of stuff if you've already signed the contract? So, I'm like, okay, Bob Arum may be looking at it from a standpoint of, hey, you know how much money this fight is going to generate, or who knows? But then at the same time, we're talking about fighters having to be able to try to get the fans to travel and being able to get out. And like I said, the only place I can think of this fight taking place for it to make as much money as it possibly can right now at this time, especially, is in Saudi. We haven't heard anything about the venue yet. You understand? So there's a lot about this fight that people are, the speculation, and I'm just giving y'all the news. I just happen to, you know, I looked and see what's going on, and I personally at this point, I don't even care. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Yeah, I want to see the fight, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But that's the wrong choice of words, man. You never know when I'm lying or telling the truth. And I'm like, Fury is every bit as childish as Wilder is. He's every bit is like people, oh, you know, Fury just ribbing us. No, he's not ribbing me. He's ribbing you, because I really don't care. I just can't think on that goof level. You understand? I just can't act like that. In certain ways, as a grown adult, you don't even play. It's just like, bro, if you want to fight, why are you acting like you don't? If you have every intention on signing the contract, why are you pretending you don't want to sign the contract? Like, what I'm, you know, and for me to have to sit here and pick my brain, no, I'm not going to do that. The other channels can do that. You know, everybody else can do that, but I'm not going to sit here and pick my brain about what he's doing and what if and why do we have to sit here and do that? This is a grown ass man. I can understand if we were talking to a toddler who doesn't know how to express themselves. We're talking about a grown 32, 33, whatever he is, grown ass man. Man, either you want the fight or you don't. So the same way how Tay Jones was talking for Deontay Wilder, not that Bob Arum was talking for Fury, but in a way, it's like he said on behalf of Fury and Joshua that they have both already signed the contract. Why are we hearing this from Bob Arum instead of Tyson Fury himself? Because AJ's not really saying much. He's just talking about, you know, like, yeah, you know, he's ready. Eddie Hearn is telling you about the contract was sent out. We're just waiting for the signatures and basically at this point and everything. So, I mean, even on that note, think about it. Why would people have to make up a lie and say that the fight is almost done? People do lie. But, I mean, is this how you promote a fight? By acting like it's not going to happen? Does that make any goddamn sense to anybody out there that has some kind of sense? So if you can settle for that and you're okay with that and, oh, yeah, he's just ribbing us, you know, Fury, man, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, whatever, man. I really don't care on a personal note. But, listen, they need to get it together, man. And like I said before, from what I'm seeing and hearing, AJ's ready. So whenever Fury and Team Fury or whatever decide they want to do what they got to do, for whatever reason this fight is being held up, is like, I'm not hearing anything other than, like I said, maybe an issue with people traveling right now because of COVID. So just certain things of that nature. But to sit here and have a promoter say that the fight, both guys already signed the contract. Then hear one promoter and Eddie Hearn saying that they're just waiting for signatures on you know, to be signed. But people are trying to not really give you straight answers. It's like, why? You know? So anyway, enough on that. Another thing, okay? Teofimo Lopez. Do you guys remember a couple of months ago, you know, after he beat Lomachenko, and he's still right now on that Lomachenko high, and he was basically talking like pretty much, I'm just going to sit here and play games. 1 minute, he wants to fight Devin Haney. The next minute, nah, not Devin Haney. The next minute, it's Gervonta Tank Davis. No, it's not David. No, it's Ryan Garcia. No. All of this back and forth. Do you guys remember when he said Ryan Garcia was next? You remember that? He said out of his mouth, Ryan Garcia is next. Then like the same week, we heard that Ryan Garcia was supposed to be fighting Manny Pacquiao in an exhibition. Just to basically overlook the fact that, hey, Ryan Garcia is Devin Haney's mandatory. You turn down your mandatory so you can fight an exhibition? Why? Why? Remember, all this conversation, the videos are in my archive. Remember this, right? Okay. Teofimo Lopez basically was playing games. Then he ended up saying Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis both need to fight somebody else before they fight him. Remember that, right? And I'm like, this guy's ego tripping, man. He's really stuck on this. He's really high off of this Lomachenko win. Because remember, he said, I still fight Lomachenko is the second best fighter in the division. Remember, he said that. those guys need to go fight somebody else before they fight me. Pause. Okay, back. So, Teofimo Lopez says both of these guys need to fight somebody else before they fight me. He still feels that Lomachenko is the second best fighter. And I'm like, well, okay, then give him a rematch then. Now, I understood why he felt bitter towards Lomachenko as far as the rematch was concerned, because basically, remember the words was, there was no rematch clause in the contract. Lomachenko was so sure that he was going to beat him, they even put a rematch clause. So now the fact that he lost, and then he starts talking about his shoulder being hurt later on, you know, after he said he thought he won the fight, and then all of a sudden his shoulder. Same thing with Pacquiao, me with same thing. I thought I think I won the fight, but then all of a sudden, oh, the reason I lost was because my shoulder. Same exact thing. Now, just to get off of that and get on, or to bring something up real quick, and then I'm gonna get right back to that. You see how we were talking about superstars? I don't know if you guys remember where some idiot made a comment. This was months ago too, about when I said Lomachenko is no superstar. Lomachenko has a lot. He's highly regarded. He's no superstar. Oh man, Lomachenko's he's this, he's the. You ever see Lomachenko viewerships? And now, not only that, ever since he lost to Teofimo Lopez, who is talking about Lomachenko right now? What moves is Lomachenko making? There's no demand. Nobody's, oh, Lomachenko. No, it was when he was on top of the world. Not only that, right? If Lomachenko name comes up, it was basically, when his name would come up, it was basically at that point, his name was coming up because of the excuses he was making, or because Teofimo Lopez was you know, talking on an interview or something like that. But just as far as Lomachenko's name coming up, people just still making a big deal. No. When you are a superstar and you lose a fight, you don't lose and then all of a sudden, oh, it's over for you. Not for a superstar. He's no superstar either. Just wanted to get that out there, because I'm saying now, because people forget. They say things and then time goes by, they forget. Who's talking about Lomachenko right now? So, okay. No superstar. All right? Back to this guy, Teofimo. After he made that claim that Lomachenko is the second best, and I'm saying, well, why don't you fight him then? Give him a rematch then. If these guys are so not on your level, and it's always, you notice, when you got the top 4 or 5 or whatever, 3 in the division, for some reason, they try to put the attention on lesser fighters. Like, they're better than the top guys, than the elite guys or something. They try to excuse to not fight the guys. He made that comment. Okay. He just did a video, an interview the other day, and they asked him about Tank Davis, right? He claims Tank Davis, he wants him next. Okay, you know what was weird about this? Remember when we first heard that Tank Davis was going to fight someone at a different weight class, and that it was going to be a world champion, right? And people was trying to speculate who they thought it was, and they was thinking, well, maybe he's going to 126 to fight Gary Russell. Everybody was speculating, right? Remember when people asked Tank, it was an interview that Teofimo Lopez did, and they was asking him about, what do you think about Tank Davis and who you think he's going to end up fighting? They was talking about maybe him going to 140. He said he think Tank Davis is too small for 140. He don't think it's a good idea, man, because he's short, you know, and these guys are bigger, and I don't think his power going to be the same at 140. Remember that, right? I watched that interview and same thing. Did you hear him say anything about fighting Tank Davis next? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he did not. He just wanted to criticize and give his expert opinion on what he think about Tank, right? But all before that, again, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. First, he says Ryan Garcia was next. He said that. Ryan Garcia, out of his mouth, said that he was next. And I'm like, wait a minute. You just said you was fighting Pacquiao next. On top of that, like I stated earlier, you're the #1 contender. You're the mandatory for Devin Haney, but for some reason you want to fight Pacquiao instead, in an exhibition on top of that. Okay. Now it's funny. It's like a pattern where fighters wait until a fighter announces that he has a fight coming up. Then all of a sudden, oh, I want that fight. Or, oh, he's scared to fight me. I thought we were going to fight. Because now we've gotten word that Tank Davis is fighting Mario Barrios, right? And he clowning, he's laughing and all this. Okay, laughing and clowning, but who are you fighting? Now, all of a sudden, he just did an interview the other day saying Tank Davis is next for him. But now all of a sudden, Tank Davis want Mario, he don't want to fight me. No, you was making all these excuses to not fight Tank Davis. It's the same way. As soon as, Fury was calling out Wilder, as soon as Wilder, he's calling out Wilder, but as soon as Fury announces he had a fight for December 5th, then all of a sudden, Wilder starts to finally address the so-called possible showdown with Fury in the third fight. Fighters have been just doing this. They wait until a guy has a fight, and then all of a sudden, oh, I thought we was going to fight. And he clearly said Ryan and Tank both have to fight somebody else before they fight him. And I'm like, this dude is seriously ego tripping, man. Because remember, I did the video about him, saying how now that he's champion, like, things are going to change. His generation, now you're going to get the fights you want to see, and then right away start the mind game, start the ego tripping. He's not on my level, he's not on my level, right? Okay, you're the only one on the level that you're on, right? Okay. So what ends up happening is this. The last time we saw Teofimo, we know that was against Lomachenko, okay? We saw Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. That was his step-up fight. This was his, okay, I'm here, all right? Luke Campbell is not seen, as, he's not seen as being on the same level as a Teofimo or Ryan, or Haney or Tank Davis. And so beating him, okay, you won. He got the win. But then even after that, it's like, I feel like out of all four of them, to be honest with you, I think Devin Haney, out of those four, is the only one that is really just like, yo, listen, I really want to fight all of y'all right now. Like, I want, let's go. And I don't know what it is with these guys. I based on what they say, I can give you my opinion on what I think based on what they say and what they do. But you cannot possibly tell me, okay, you can't make sense out of saying you got, they keep talking about how hot the 135-pound division is, right? It's the division that's getting the most attention right now. It has been, okay? And right now who the four top guys are. Devin Haney has called out Ryan and Teofimo and Tank. None of them have called out Devin Haney. That's just factual. None of them have called. I'm not talking about talking shit on a video, going, "Hey, yeah, I can beat him," or "Hey, let's go." No, I'm saying he's made it known he wants to fight these guys, and he even with him and Ryan. See, the thing of speaking about a fight as if it's going to happen before term sheets and contracts are sent out, and you guys even actually talk about it, it's not cool to do that, because you get everybody else hopes up high, and then all of a sudden the fight doesn't happen, and that's what's been happening. But I feel like Devin Haney really wants that smoke. Now, for you, think about it, to be mandatory for a world title shot, but you choose to fight an aging legend in an exhibition. Then we find out that's not happening, so what's next for Ryan Garcia? Then I'm hearing a possible fight between Teofimo and somebody, but then it's like, well, if that... See, this is my point. If he has a fight locked in, why are you even talking about Tank Davis? This is exactly what I'm talking about. If you already have a fight locked in, you wouldn't be talking about Tank. You'd be focused on the guy that you're about to fight. This is what I'm saying. Nothing that we hear, we don't even know if it's true. And it's just getting old, man. And it's just like, seriously, man, again, more hearsay. This is where we are with this nonsense. Anyways, Tank Davis, 140 against Barrios. And pretty much whatever happens after that. Now is this, I want to move up just to make history. Does he stay there? Does he go back to 135 to fight anybody? I don't know. We don't know that. So we'll just have to see. Because if he's gone from 135, then you know what? That means that there's pretty much there's 3-star. Well, you can say four stars because Lomachenko's still there. We don't know his mental state physically. If we don't know. But that's one valuable guy that 135 lost. Now, if he's gonna stay at 140, we know Adrian Broner's at 140. Does that fight happen? Does he fight Regis Prograis? I mean, think about it, because there's fights there. You know what I'm saying? There's fights there. Personally, yeah, I believe most people just like myself would rather see him fight against Lopez and Garcia and Haney and those guys. At least fight those guys first. Whatever. I mean, it's his decision. It's his decision. They all have their own decisions. We don't know. Somebody else might do the same thing, go up in weight or something. I don't see any of them really going down in weight, but who knows? So we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm looking at the guy that's there. He has some competition there as well. But what I'm looking at too is at 140, if he's staying there, at some point, does he fight Adrian Broner? We know that they was, in the same camp at one point. They trained together and all that. They know each other. But does that happen? I don't know. Anyway, enough on that. Now, Danny Garcia is going up to 154, he said. He says he thinks he'll be more comfortable and stronger at that weight class. Now, Danny Garcia came from 140 up to 147. People was actually saying he was too small, right, for guys at 147. He's not naturally there. A lot of guys just fight at a smaller weight class. You all been calling Errol Spencer weight bully for the longest. So he goes to 154, he says. Okay. I don't know if look, if he goes to 154, I'll tell you this, he'll probably handpick some meatballs first couple of fights. And he said right away, I'm not going to go to the big guys first. Yeah. If he's trying to get a fight with Jermell Charlo, and I'm telling you, you see, this is the funny thing. People are still underestimating Jermell Charlo. If he's trying to get a fight with Jermell Charlo, okay, me personally looking at Danny Garcia, which, I mean, hey, Jermell is the man at 154, so why wouldn't he want to get a fight with him, right? But what I'm saying, as far as what he brings to the table, I see several guys there that will beat Danny Garcia. He may not even, I don't even think he gets to fight Jermell Charlo, unless, look, Jermell Charlo has nothing to really gain. I mean, Danny Garcia, I see a lot of people like to gas Danny Garcia's head up. I mean, he was being interviewed and the guy told him, yeah, man, I thought you won. A lot of people thought I thought you beat Sean Porter. And Keith, no, hell no, you didn't beat Sean Porter. Hell no, you didn't beat Keith Thurman. And Errol Spence beat you more convincingly than Keith Thurman and Sean Porter did. So here's a guy coming off loss after loss after loss against the top guys in his division. So what does Jermell Charlo, why would he have to break his neck to want to fight Danny Garcia? You understand what I'm saying? So Danny Garcia, you have something to prove going to 154. This namesake thing, just to have his name there and say all of a sudden because he won a title at 147, but bro, you know that the fact that he wants to go to 154, that's his choice. I don't feel like it's, that's his choice. I'm not even knocking that. But a lot of people are already talking about, I've heard people talking about, oh, him versus Charlo. Bro, like, how do you just walk into a division? Now, look at Usyk. Usyk, is undefeated. Without even having a fight, he became Anthony Joshua's mandatory. okay, without even having a fight. Now, let's be realistic, man. At least, okay, at least he's undefeated. Danny Garcia loses every time he fights the elite in his weight class at 147, right? So how in the hell do you just go to 154 and then people think all of a sudden you're supposed to be the next in line for the guy that's the guy in the division? That's crazy. I think Jermell Charlo destroys him, personally. Yeah, we know Danny showed a good chin and all that, and Danny, I think Jermell Charlo beats the living snot out of this guy, man. I really don't see him being a match for Jermell Charlo. I don't think, what's the guy named that Jermell Charlo, he fought twice. He beat the guy, the bald guy, I forget his name, but I think that guy beats Danny Garcia. I forget his name. That guy, the first time they fought, most people feel like Jermell Charlo won and got robbed. The second time they fought, Jermell got the knockout. I forget his name, but anyway, there's several guys I think will beat Danny Garcia at 154. Okay, and pretty much, this is to me like a crossroads move, because he said he wanted to be a 3-division champion. Okay, that's fine, but at the same time, it's like, at 147, I don't see a reason for Errol Spence to give him a rematch. I'm not interested in a bunch of rematches, okay? I don't even care to see him in, I don't want to see him in Porter again. I don't want to see him in Thurman again. You know, and Thurman has been quiet for so long. We don't even know if Thurman is coming back to boxing, to be honest with you. We hear nothing at all from Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman talked about being, going through a depression himself, and was talking about he was 170 something, he's up to 190 something pounds, then now to 170 something. So if a guy can fight at 147 and all of a sudden he's not training the way he's supposed to, but his body ends up being 190 something pounds, that goes to show you that yes, these guys can go up. Yeah, they can go up, and they're fighting at more of their natural weight. So, a lot of people have been fixated on this whole thing of, like, if you fight at a certain weight, that's your ideal weight. No, that's just the weight that we, and you were younger at the time, and you were more explosive, and that's the weight that you look best at. That's why they're saying that, why people say that, but they don't understand, they overlook the fact that, especially as you get older, your body starts to fill out more. So now you start cutting weight to get down to those weights. So you have the advantage. So you're really bigger, stronger than a lot of guys you're going to fight. Okay, who's more natural at that weight. It doesn't always work. Sometimes that works against you. Okay, but I think Danny Garcia, this is a crossroads move for him, because even though he's saying he wants to go to 154. Let's say, for example, if Danny Garcia had unified the division, do you think he would just drop the belts just to go up to 154? You think he'll pull a Terrence Crawford? I'm going to unify the division and go up? I don't think so. And especially because, truthfully, there's more names. Those 4 names stand out more than, names at 154. But there's fighters that's there. They don't have the name. They don't have the drawing power. They don't have the name that Thurman and Porter and Spence and Crawford have and all that. But Danny Garcia himself, his name, Danny Garcia, listen, he comes to fight. I've never seen him in a fight where, like, he just came there just to come there. I've seen him have fights where he didn't have such a good performance, even though he pulled the fight off. But, I mean, he's human, But I'm saying Danny Garcia does come to fight. He does come to fight. But that's the move he's looking at. But, I'm not even tripping on him saying that he wants to go to 154. I'm just saying it's weird to me how people just think that a guy who pretty much has losses to the elite fighters in his current division, just because he's going to 154, he's supposed to just automatically end up in the ring with Jermell Charlo. And even the fact that people think that that's going to be a really competitive fight is like, bro, listen. Now, we'll have to see it to know for sure, but listen, I feel 110% confident, man. Jermell Charlo will beat the brakes. He will beat the brakes off of Danny Garcia, man. Same as Earl Spence did. You know, maybe even worse. Who knows? I think he beats the brakes off of Danny Garcia. Anyways, look. What's going on right now in boxing, like I've said before, you know, stated in previous videos, it's just too much talking about nothing. I don't know what it's going to take to get these guys in the ring to fight. You've had people fight in front of small, you know, pretty much just empty arena fights. You know, camera crew, their corner, the opponent's corner, stuff like that. You know, I mean, we've had that. And for these guys that say that they can't fight in front of in an empty crowd, okay, well that's on them. But I feel like you should say that beforehand. So kill that speculation of why a fight's not happening. Nah, I'm not interested right now because I can't fight in front of you know, have a empty arena fight. I can't do it. Derek Chisora said he can't do it. You understand? He said he can't do it. But then you got fighters who say that, then they get in there and they do it anyway, whether they win or lose. But it's like, look, I'm not one that's into this whole trying to figure out if something's true or if it's not true. Either you guys want to fight or you don't want to fight. You know, that's just the way it is. Pause. Okay. On a side note too, getting back to Fury and AJ. This guy Gareth, what's his name? Gareth Davies. He did, you know, an IFL TV interview, and he said that they have 30 days to finalize all of this, date and venue. Okay, and he's saying that Fury is saying he doesn't want to be out too long, right? Okay, still in all, and now he said that Fury told him this. Now, even if that's the case, don't you think it's still a bit stupid that Fury is saying there's no fight? Oh, he don't see that fight happening next and all this nonsense. We get it. I said all this about traveling and trying to get everything finalized. We get all of that. But the point to show no interest, I've never in my life seen two fighters, a mega fight on top of that. Can you imagine, you know, when Sugar Ray Leonard said, you know, at that whatever it was, a press conference or whatever the hell it was, when he was talking about people want to see me and this great man, talk about Marvin Hagler, right? And I know that because he said he had that announcement to make. Remember Marvin Hagler was sitting there, that little kind of smile on his face, like everybody thought that Leonard was about to announce that fight was about to happen. Leonard said, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. He retired. Okay? Pissed a lot of people off. Pissed Marvin off. It was still his decision. But the thing is, he retired. Can you imagine him pretending that fight wasn't going to happen? Then all of a sudden, 30 days later, we hear, oh yeah, man, oh, the fight's on. Then why are you acting like you don't want the fight? It took years for that fight to finally surface. And by the time that the fight actually happened, yeah, Sugar Ray was even more popular than he was when he fought Hearns, and you know, and this fight was highly anticipated. All right, because the fight was never on, but it was expected to happen. And then when it looked like it was never going to happen, then it ended up happening. But I'm just saying, can you imagine? Like, I've never seen that. Ali and Frazier going to fight. Oh, I'm not interested in that fight. I don't see that fight happening anytime soon. I mean, who does that other than Tyson Fury? Who does that? Why is he even pretending? This is what I'm saying. And I brought this up about this guy, Gareth Davies, because I know people are going to see that and go, yeah, but Gareth Davies said, but regardless, what I'm saying is, why is this guy, how do you build a fight like that? How do you expect people to even take you serious and want to even see this fight? And you're playing these games, man, these little childish, simple-minded games. It's like, I don't find it entertaining at all. I just don't understand. And that, along with all these other fighters who just, for whatever reason, just like, it's like impossible to get these guys in the ring. What is it going to take to make these guys want to fight each other? Other than just, okay, them trying to overprice themselves, thinking that they're worth more money than what they are. So in this situation, it's just one of those things where, you know, like I said, I just wanted to add that because I know people are going to say, yeah, I saw an interview with yeah, I saw it too. But at the same time, again, it's just really childish. It's a big turn off, and I'm not interested in waiting to you know, sticking around. I'm not every day. Let me find out. Like, no, when I hear something solid, we get a date and a venue, you know, and we know that it's official, that the fight's signed. Okay, then we can move on and you know, because I really don't want to keep talking about he said, she said, man. And this is what is going on. And the crazy thing is, like I said, you got boxing going on, and people just really don't care. And it's so funny because I can sit here and watch a bunch of fights, and then I'll look and it's like, damn, nobody's even talking about these guys, or a few people are talking about these guys, just a handful. And the people it's like nobody really cares. So anyway, y'all, look, this is all I'm going to say on this video. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.